What's up, everybody? It's the Players of the Realm. We are back again. Hope everybody has been having a great week since we last saw you. Here we are!
Yeah!
Oh, I know, we got almost the full party back, too. It's so close. But now we get 2 people back, and 1 goes missing. What the heck?
Can only do so much.
Right? There's only so much that we can do. You know, moving is terrible. Being that I moved like 2 times within 1 year, totally get it. It's ridiculous fact. We hope Mech's doing well and everything. We'll see him the next time. But I guess we gotta we're just gonna keep it breezy and go with a nice quick little question and session. Guys, who's the most dapper of the Dans? You guys can make a poll, make a vote, shout anything out.
Oh, we're not going down.
Abstain from voting.
I mean, if we're not going in order, I'm just going to put it right on. Panic.
Well, Sarah's is abstaining, apparently.
Yeah, Levin wouldn't have an opinion. Aaron would say Fennec. He's the only one that's put in any substantial effort into it.
That's true.
Yami is gonna have. Go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying the only reason Fennec looks good is because of Saris.
You're the stylist behind the scenes.
Well, think about this. Between her helping Fennec and Mech, she has been doing... Well, actually, no, wait. You've been hindering Mech, quite frankly, in looking back.
She's been helping Mech. She's definitely helping Mech.
I don't know if that's helping him.
And here's my rebuttal to the statement. Theris got him the clothes. Fennec made the look.
Hold it all
Yami's going to have to say Fennec for now. As much as I don't want to, because until I get my dapperest hat, I can't. I'm still second, because I know I'm better than Mech. But
so
Fennec definitely has it. I'll tip my hat off to Fennec.
No, so here is my reasoning behind, and it's not because, but you have the other characters who can dress up properly. You have, there's that look, that natural look. Fennec's a goblin. He will always bring the shock and awe factor wherever he goes looking dapper. Because compared to the other races, how many dapper goblins?
Touche.
And Yami, going back to the gift, I make this look good.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll give you that one. I was freaking crying at work when I seen that. They're like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. You wouldn't get it.
I'm making a mental note. Tribe of super cool looking goblins.
Listen, Fennec takes the cake for this one. I can't even argue, but until I get my hat, I'm still looking.
Look, once I will not be happy with this campaign until we do a Zoolander type showdown between a different dapper group and then y'all, and then having to do the little pose off and everything.
Walk off.
I'm sorry, bruh. You're excused.
Change jobs to wizard and fireball the whole thing.
Oh no!
I will do the thing at the beginning of Zoolander and have a gasoline fight.
Oh!
Oh my god! So we can all agree on Fennec though for right now.
I think we nailed that. I think it's a slam dunk into Fennec's court. Well, let's have y'all tell where we are right now, because Fennec and Yami both actually need reminders about where you guys left off. So Saris and Levin, it is up to you 2 now to tell them what you have recently found.
Part of our travels for the recent request that we were given brought us to this site of what, if you're looking at your screens, is an ash pit with placed rocks, runes, glowy, and corpses of undead. That's the shortest version I can manage.
So we were traveling, and when we got here, we were inspecting it, and it looked odd. Obviously, it's like I said, ash pit with some rocks ranged around it. And Saris walked up to look at the rock, not touch the rock, just look at it. When she got close, it lit up, and I believe 2 Carnathi undead rose, and we fought them off.
Technically speaking, we did not identify them as Carnathi undead.
Okay. Well, some undead.
That was yeah, it was in the tracker, but we weren't sure of what they were spawned. It's just the stat block.
Various, some sort of assorted undead appeared. We fought them off. Wasn't that difficult. And then as we're wrapping up, and kind of like...
rocks.
I didn't feel anything.
Fair.
And we were looking around, and Mech's like, I want to touch the rock. And Saris is like, please don't touch the rock. If you touch the rock
again.
Well, it didn't touch the rock the first time. Saris only got close to it, and 2 undead
Mech touched it the first time.
He did?
Yeah.
I thought it was Saris looking at it.
Nope, Mech touched it.
Okay.
We need you to look back at the tape.
That math. Knowing Mech, I'm pretty sure he touched all the rocks.
And, well, anyway, she said, please don't touch it again. And he's like, I want to touch it again. Please don't. You might summon more of them, and there might be too many for us to handle this time.
And his response was, I touched the rock.
Yep. And then shapes started moving in the distance around us. And he's like, oh, fuck. I think I fucked up.
Well, remember, and the lights turned back on.
Oh, right. Oh, also, and he said, I think you were right, Saris.
All the while, we were surmising that it could be a beacon for these things.
I'm going to quote that, too, next time he comes. I'm like, yep, remember you said that she was right?
With the Carnathi thing, I will remind you guys that you did find a clue of sorts.
Yes, something affiliated with the Emerald Claw.
Right. You're absolutely on the money there with that. So it's not like you don't have any idea of what potentially pulled them up or what didn't or not, you know?
There was some speculations made, but past that, we don't have anything solid outside of what was on the bodies.
That is true. Anything else I'm forgetting? Or are y'all forgetting?
No, just some light PC dialogue between ourselves, just passing some time.
Oh, good old banter.
Sorry.
No, please go on. I was just saying good old banter.
There was some discussion about the job description of my bodyguard.
Truth. Yeah. There was a little bit of that, what the job description is, and then also there's a lot of talk, just to remind everybody, and Yami and Fennec here, that like y'all had a very in-depth discussion about Ramus and kind of like what his role and what's his whole deal. There's a lot of kind of like trying to piece together that kind of stuff in the last episode.
Yeah, the last time I was here, I remember you guys saying, well, somebody mentioned that he was a little sketchy.
There are some more discussions for that could be had. We're fighting zombies again.
More fun.
You're fighting them. We're running.
Wait, who's we?
I can do both. Also,
my bodyguard and I.
I can react to both.
And with that, let's actually jump right into it then. So let's get the other 2 actors onto the field.
We're so dead.
Not yet.
Where's that other guy? Oh, you changed your sprite. I see.
Let's just see if things go from bad to worse.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, I hear the background music. Is that a new ad? That's dope.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of cool things. Like for instance,
there's an ambient soundtrack and playlist going on.
I love it. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like,
I am looking forward to find out which one of these things crashes my computer.
believe me, I'm trying to limit what I test and everything else. But again, at least the sounding, you can easily just nix that out. So,
yeah, if you go to Foundry and click the music thing, you can edit everything from there. I just did, but that's beautiful. I like it.
Well, hopefully you keep liking it, because guess what?
It's the soundtrack to our running away.
You know, Sarahs, you might not be too off on what you might need to do. So as you guys are kind of like doing, so Mech just touched the rock, right? And let's have everybody roll a perception check real quick, and then we will carry right into it. Most of you guys will probably notice this, but we're going to give some little extra details based on if you do well or not.
Would you say perception?
Yep.
Correct.
Correctamundo.
So good at this. And he still holds.
11 and Sarah's carrying the party again.
I mean, there are wisdom checks, and we are consequently a cleric and a ranger.
Oh wait, no, Yami bringing us all, bringing up the curve,
bringing the heat. All right, so a couple of you, namely the almost everybody except for Fennec, who's maybe too enamored with looking at the glow of the stone, notices that the tops of the trees start rustling and moving, and those of you that kind of get a 15 plus can hear the sound of wings and a faint cawing coming closer and closer.
Oh, what does that sound? I don't want to know what that sound is anymore. I don't want to see what's making that sound. We should go. I want to go. Which is the direction that is? What direction is not this sound?
You can't tell.
Oh.
It almost sounds like it's coming from all directions.
Yeah. So it's like, do you guys think this is man-made?
It sounds like it's coming from West.
I double tap Mech in the head with my crossbow for doing this to me.
Double taps Mech.
And as she does, when she finishes that, I'm gonna like wipe the spot off that she tapped. Like, and like take a little rag, lick it, and wipe it off.
I hate my life.
You hear Mech go into autopilot.
That sounds about right. All right.
Tesla mode.
All right. So things have just gotten bad. We should go.
It grows louder.
And it's coming from all directions?
Yep.
Okay, so I think this is sort of a... We break out? Fight our way free? Right?
Would this be a familiar kind of like cawing or noise that I would maybe can use a history check on to see if I can tell it? Or survival?
That's more of identifying an animal. That would be nature.
So survival, right?
Yeah.
Nature.
So I'll go ahead and do that roll. You would know that it is a sound of ravens and crows, though. Give me that roll for one.
Because I am a monster hunter, so I would know from sounds. Hopefully, I got a.
That's what I'm thinking.
Hopefully that helps.
Crows and ravens.
Crows and ravens, guys. It sounds like a bunch of birds. If I hear a bunch of birds, that means either they're running from something or something's in the area. Normally, when you see birds flocking like that, not a good sign.
Okay, well, she's gonna point, like, we're pursuing somebody, right?
We were sent to investigate.
Ah, right, I forget. I forgot why we're here. Anyhow, she... Like, which direction is the Mournland?
From
Real
here,
quick question
that
for the
would
DM.
be
Sorry.
east-northeast.
Say we charge that way and see if we can break out.
To the Mournland.
Well,
So, question
you have
real
to
quick
keep
for the DM.
Yeah.
Would I have been with them traveling the whole time? I'm assuming since I'm here, correct?
Yeah.
Would I be able to use my Feet the Wanderer?
The background
To-
feature?
Yep. You have excellent memory for maps and geography. You can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, I can find food and fresh water. So that doesn't matter for this. So I'll be
Sure.
there.
I mean, you can potentially find your way back the same way that you went.
Okay. We don't have a map, right?
No.
Okay, good. I got all my questions. So as we were, so I'm gonna look around like, I mean, I know how to get back completely fine. I don't know where this fellow. I'm sorry, real quick. Who are we chasing? Is it a fellow? What are we?
We're investigating something. Cyrus hasn't been paying attention.
Well, I can track this fellow pretty good if you want, but
You
I'm not
start
familiar with this.
We don't have a starting point. Also,
You start seeing,
and
so 1 second.
Go ahead.
You start seeing up over top of you in the clearing. There's almost a spiral of birds now flying over top of you guys.
Okay, time to go. Just picks it. She's gonna start running northeast,
West. All right.
and she just gestures her bodyguard. Time to go.
Ah! You all follow.
sorry.
What does it mean? Oh, okay, we're going.
Chop chop, melee. Let's go.
I'm gonna follow confused.
You say you're gonna follow confused?
Like I'm kind of like looking around, like what? Huh? I mean, I guess if everybody's running this way.
This is the way everybody's going? Let's go.
And as you start running, you can start to see some of the birds start coming almost through the gap in the large gap in the trees where the kind of like site that you all were standing at, and almost in like a big funnel, they start swooping down behind you all. And a lot of them kind of come like right real close to you and pass up, like right before making contact with you all. And those of you with a solid passive perception and the like would notice that there seems to be something odd with the birds themselves. And if you'd like to make a roll to investigate or to make a perception, go ahead. But otherwise, we're gonna rock and roll through.
Oh no, she's panicking.
Yeah, my passive perception is 17.
Yeah. Oh no, if you have a solid like passive perception, or if you'd like to add to it, the passive of 17 is pretty solid anyways, actually. So
I rolled for my perception.
yeah, good.
I rolled for mine. Not so good.
That's good.
Yami, you're also a whatchamacallit, right?
Azamar, yeah. I'm
So
Azamar.
you get a feeling actually from these birds more so than anything from your sight. And you can almost sense that there's a kind of sinister and evil force surrounding the birds. And Levin, when one passes like right over your shoulder, kind of like making a quick little dive-by motion, you notice that it's actually just half of a skull of a raven. And there's no feathers on that side of it. There's not even an eye. It's just like a dead bird skull.
Levin's going to quickly call out to the rest of the group. Undead swarm.
Runs faster.
All right. And let's go let's go to a chase where you guys are now running away instead of being the chasees.
Oh shit.
So, this is the fun part. You guys get to go forward. I'd like everybody to make an athletics or a dex check. And with that, we'll kind of determine on who's moving how many dots ahead or not, or how many dots ahead you're moving. Let me put it like that. It's probably easy.
Athletics or dex? Does that mean acrobatics?
Pardon?
Or like a straight dex?
No, you can use acrobatics because I actually like that. You're like zipping through the forest and yada yada. You know, you're kind of like dodging through the tree.
It'd be the same roll for Saris anyway.
I mean, it's probably like the same roll for most of y'all, especially for Fennec who rolled a 1.
I'm sorry, you said athletics or acrobatics?
Correctamundo. I see most of everybody has chosen acrobatics.
All 3 of my rolls tonight, and I have an equal 10.
Well, you know what? Get them out of the way now, and maybe you'll do better later. Ooh.
Use my roll to make sure that Fennec does not fall behind.
No.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Can I?
If you're gonna use his.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, can I do a strength check? Seeing that Fennec is lacking behind, can I do a strength check to just fucking yank him up and like pit him in my arms and bring him with me?
You can do something after this. So
okay,
you guys start running, and you notice now the birds start getting more and more aggressive as you're moving forward. And Fennec all of a sudden kind of starts lagging behind due to his short feet, little legs. And the birds are like, bam. And so, Yami, if you would like, go ahead and Saris and Yami, if you guys want to help him out, go ahead and make I would say like an attack roll or something, or go ahead and just do an athletics just to make things simple. And Saris, what would be a good applicable skill for helping somebody up and keeping them going?
Like I could try to intimidate him to like make him run faster, or probably athletics to try and pull him along. The 2 that I can think of.
What would you do first? What would Saris's real reaction be? I like the 2 ideas though.
She'd yell at him. Move those tiny feet! Those stupid clothes mean nothing to these birds.
Go ahead and roll that. And
Thaumaturgy make it extra loud.
Unfortunately, Fennec, you're going to take 3 damage from the birds flying down and pecking at you. 11. You also did not quite make it, but you're not as swarmed in. So you're going to take halves of 1, so you take 1. Congratulations.
Half of 1 is less than 1. Less than that, it's...
So, none.
Yeah.
I round up, but yeah. So Saris, sounds like your intimidation check worked on him.
Yes. We're going to rip up your clothes. Run faster.
Would Fennec allow me to grab him up real quick? Because if he's resisting, that's different.
He's too busy.
Different for him. So yeah, I'm just yoinking Fennec. So I'm gonna do you said athletics.
Yep.
See if I help grab him up.
You really?
Mind you, Fennec is currently being swarmed by birds at the moment, and so pulling him out of the big cacophony of them I don't think he would necessarily resist you, but maybe Fennec has a different idea.
Fennec,
if I'm trying to pull you out, would you resist me?
Fennec's actually before you can get to Fennec is going to drop prone and play dead.
Oh no.
What? So I'm assuming you're not resisted then.
Well, he's playing dead in the attempt that he one of his caveats of being a shadow sorcerer is his heart only beats once a minute.
Oh wow.
So he's legitimately playing dead. And he's gonna hold his breath as best he can.
Right before I get to Fennec, do the birds still look like they notice he's playing dead, or they're still coming in?
So, Yami, you would see in the action kind of profile going on, he gets hit by a shitload of birds. And then all of a sudden, he just like drops to the floor. And you hear Saris yell at him, all the stuff that she said. And then
attributing his fake death to Sarah's yelling at him?
Huh?
Are you attributing his fake death to Sarah's yelling at him?
No. The birds
That's
hit
just
Sarah yells
while
at you. And now, Yami, it is up to you what you want to do from that point. And so if you want to grab him, go ahead and do it. If you don't, then, you're just swatting at birds, basically, with what your check was.
Okay, so do I need so just roll another athletics to yoink him up real quick?
Yep.
Okay.
Unless you want to let him play that.
Oh, real quick, would Levitt have noticed that Fennec has basically just splayed across the ground to stop moving?
Barely, yes. Yeah. You would have just noticed that he has stopped, like, laying on the ground after you kind of got, like, peck, like, kind of like a little scrape across your chin. And then you turn around and look, and you see all the hubbub going on behind you.
All right.
Make a quick decision. You guys have 10 seconds, literally.
Levin's going to yell out, "Crows are normally scavengers! Don't do that!"
And then Fennec will just pop up, whoops, and just keep running.
Yep. Sarah, when he fell, she's like, well, can't save him now. She kept running.
I guess as I go to reach for Fennec and I see him play dead and he just like pops up, I'm like, oh, good, come on. And I'm kind of like, I hold his hand and run with him. So if he does fall again, I'm going to drag him.
All right. And as you guys are running along, you see like a small creek in front of you. Birds are still kind of like swarming down. They're harassing at you, but not causing any direct damage yet. And give me an acrobatics or athletics for jumping over the creek.
Well, goddamn. I can't win them all.
How have
Fennec pulls you off?
Fennec pulls me and drags me on the floor.
No, he doesn't. He uses you falling to jump and propel himself over.
I love it. So Yami sees the creek first. He falls after he slips on a rock and like face plants into some of the rocks, and then Fennec hops on the first rock off of Yami's back and over to the other side.
Steps on my head, pushes him more into the mud.
Sticks the land.
Saris and Levin, you both easily jump over it, looking back at Yami, taking 5 damage from the fall, and then also the birds kind of coming in as you're trying to stand yourself up, harassing you again. You maybe even feel your ankle kind of like get a little bit of a twinge, almost like you almost like kind of like twisted it on a rock, sunk it into the water.
Ooh, so you said 5 damage?
Yep.
Got it.
All right. You guys are running forward. You're looking around. And Yami, you get a sense that you guys are almost like, you could figure out if you wanted to turn yourselves back to the original path. However, does the rest of the party want to do that? that is, and Sarah said that she wanted to head towards the Mournland in a just general direction.
Yeah, she just ran, I think, she just said northeast, I believe, and just took off.
The last I heard, whoever we were trying to investigate or follow was headed that direction. And so she just sort of latched onto that as the direction to go. She doesn't know if that we're still doing that. She's just sort of... She made a decision as, like, because waiting
Unified direction is better than just scattering.
Yep.
And as you're thinking of it, you see kind of like a small embankment, like sliding downwards. What do? Each of you? Like, it's a solid, like 20-foot, like, sliding embankment going down towards the hill. And like not a moderate, like, incline, I would say. Like a standard, like, slide for like a kid's playground. Let me put it like that. With loose dirt. It's not like hard rock. It's not super soft dirt, though. What do?
Sarah throws herself down. Just flings herself off the edge. She's not even trying to... She'd like to land well, but it's not a priority to her. It's just using gravity to speed her up.
Sounds like an acrobatics to me. The rest of you guys, what are you doing?
You see the bird would notice the slope on its way down. He would jump before the slope. This way, as he's landing at the edge, going down the slope, it's just a way to get a little bit more speed to start going down the slope. It's a dead run after that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make an acrobatics check for it then, I think. Or athletics, either one, really. That's a debatable one, quite frankly. You're making a big jump and trying to land over it. So
more of landing in a way where my jump adds just a little bit more momentum as my downhill descent.
Oh, got it. Almost like you're going to land surfing into the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that works. You other two.
Go ahead, Fennec. I'm lagging behind.
You're reluctant and go.
Jumped on me.
Birds are closing in. You hear them calling. The other two have already jumped. What do?
Fennec's gonna like, I hate myself, and run back to try and help him.
He's already up.
Oh, he's already up. Yeah. He is following suit.
Cool. Any flavor for how you're jumping down?
Do you need me to roll the check?
Yeah, you can do it. I mean, yeah. And Yami, how you coming down?
I'm gonna just run and I'm gonna stomp through the fucking... I'm just gonna run down the hill. Just powerhouse it.
Stomp down the hill?
Yeah, because I'm not as acrobatic as these guys are dexterous, so I'm gonna have to just athletically make my way down and try to jump over. I don't know. I can't slide and skate and all like these guys. I'm not graceful. I'm sorry, but I'm not great. I'm ungraceful.
Go for it. That's definitely an athletics.
Ooh, I stomp wonderfully. Hopefully.
Sarah slid down on her face.
Yeah, so Saris, I definitely would say that you jumped forward on your chest like a penguin. But, as you did it, you chinned yourself, you know?
Mm.
And you bopped your chin, taking 2. And Fennec is you jump down. How would a goblin jump down? You saw Levin try to do the surfing move right before you, but as you did, you didn't land quite right, and all your weight just carried you forward, and so you slammed into your shoulder real good, taking 3 damage.
As I stomp gracefully past him, I want to stomp on a puddle right by his face to splash him.
Just add a literal insult to injury. And,
his face is as dirty as mine now when he stepped on my head into the puddle.
Yeah.
So now we have matching faces.
Yeah. So, yeah, Fennec, as you pick your face up, all of a sudden a big thing of water comes flashing in your face as you see Yabi like just stomping. So you came down the hill like just stomp, dapping through the sand. And like Levin, I almost imagine you kind of like just dash down the sand, almost like skiing and everything.
Yeah, kind of at a like a half skate, half run.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's a good one.
All right, you guys got one more to do. The birds have like closed in really tight. Or let me make one quick thing. Yep, the birds are in super tight. Even with all that, you guys have been slowed up and they are just flying behind you, and all this time they're like staying right hot on your tail. You notice that there's a left path going over. It's like a rock scramble going up the hills, and over to your right instead there's like a bunch of down trees that you'd have to climb over and keep going through.
Saris.
Go ahead.
Saris turns left.
So you're not going into that area now? You're making a complete separate turn, or you're just going through a different path in that area? Sorry.
If she was traveling northeast, turning left would, like, depending on what angle she did, she'd either be more north or just, like, northwest or something like that, but she diverted from northeast.
So, but the goal is to get away from that path, though, like that woods area that has to do with rocks and shit.
Well, she's trying, like, the rocks look like an easier scramble than the logs to her.
Okay, got you. So you're going more towards the rocks. Noted. But same direction for the most part.
The question Levin would have is there an area with less light? I know it's like noon out, so he's just looking for an area where the light is, like, there is more shades, shadows, or just overhead cover.
So to the right side, you can presume that a little bit more, being that you're staying in the trees. The wall is the fell trees are higher up on that side, though. Compared to in a sense, imagine there's like a 15-foot bunch of trees felled in front of you across the road, and then on the other side, it's kind of like a worn-looking like billy goat trail where the rock scramble is going up.
Nah, Levin's gonna go to a place that has more overhead cover, so I'll probably be heading towards its trees.
Okay.
That's great.
My eyes just start going cockeyed and trying to.
Well, as soon as he's in a low light or dark condition, it's pretty much he's disappeared for most people. So, of course, he's gonna go with stealth.
I mean, that makes sense, yeah.
So... the other two? Which way are you going?
We're still within screaming distance of one another. It's not like he's gone.
I
like the use of the word screaming distance.
We are being chased.
I'm darting for the woods as well, because being from me living in the forest and stuff, it's more. I mean, it's all outland, so I'll go where Fennec goes.
Make a quick decision then, Fennec. It sounds like it's up to you. Oh wait, no. Did you say Fennec or Levin?
He said Fennec.
Yep. I'm gonna try to stay in at least by him.
Okay. So Fennec, it sounds like the following direction is up to you. Who do you follow, Saris or Levin?
Fennec's got a perfect darkness option.
I'm following Saris.
We've had long rests. I think you got your sorcery points back.
Yep.
We've had a long rest since the last time you were here, so you've got your sorcery points back. You got like darkness or something for yourself?
Yep.
So you got options.
I do. I was actually going to hide. Actually, yeah. That's not a bad. Actually, so okay. Bear with me while I ask the question. Breaking left or right, does line of sight get broken in either direction from what we're being chased by?
A bunch of birds that are flying in the air.
So that's a no.
Yeah. It's a very solid like no.
I wasn't sure if they were like chasing like at level or above.
All over. Like some of them are swooping down at like ground level with you guys, and some of them are like way over top. We're talking hundreds of birds at this moment that are chasing you guys.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, but the thing with the darkness,
something like this.
7, 6.
We're gonna follow.
I'm going Ceres.
1.
I'll take the mountain.
Vision.
Huh?
Where are you going? Which way?
11.
All right, going with 11. Yami, you're following with him?
No, I'm going with Ceres. I changed my mind last. He took too long, so I was already like, fuck this, fuck, and I went with Ceres.
You see Sarah, yeah, so what I almost imagine is Levin goes like, guys, this way! And he goes like running off, and then you see Fennec jump, like start to scramble over the things. By the way, everybody needs to do an athletics or acrobatic check one last time. And so you see them going off in that way. And Yabi, I almost imagine you like you start going that way, but then you see Ceres breaking off to the left, and you kind of like grab a hold of a tree and like push yourself into the other direction all of a sudden.
Literally. Yes, that was perfect. Thank you.
And she doesn't do really well. She's going to die.
Oh no.
It's
That's
fine.
actually perfect with my athletics.
Low as I go into the Valley of Chittering Death.
You guys all got the same roll? Jesus.
Wait, did you guys?
15. No, okay, I thought I saw that was before. That was your roll. So it's 13, 15, 9.
Okay. So Fennec has a little bit of trouble like scrambling over. But Levin is able to quick like kind of get over to the top of the log and do that like, you know, elementary school thing that we all do where like you hoist the other person over and pull him through. And like as like you Yami, you see Ceres, like she's like scrambling up the rocks and like Meili is trying to help her, but like she's not super helpful. You're able to kind of just like grab a hold of her and like you break her free of like a little rock situation where she's trying to figure out how to scramble over, and you just kind of give her a whoop, a little toss up. And she's able to like grab a hold of the next like, you know, rock and keep scrambling up.
You're taking too long. Damn it, hurry.
Rude.
Can I give like one of those where I put like my hands together so she could use my hand as a leverage and I can throw her up?
Yeah. Again, yeah. If you have more flavor to it, by all means, spitball it out. Whatever else, you know. I'm just kind of giving a baseline for you guys to think of, like.
Yeah.
Gotcha how it would go. Yep. So I'm gonna do that. Like, come on, go, and just like throw her up a little harder than expected, so she like trips but not falls.
Yeah.
And just toss her like ah.
So the failures. So that's for Fennec.
What? A 13 failed?
Yeah.
Straight making straight making hard checks.
Because
Fennec's not a nature.
No, and also what you notice about the trees is it's not just like, you know, oh, it's like an easy tree. There's splinter bits, there's shards of the things coming out. And remember, you're always constantly being harassed by the crows. And so if you kind of move too slowly through it, even if it's not like one of the obstacles in your way hitting you, one of the crows is coming down and bopping you with a peck, especially if you're taking too slow. So,
Boop, you snoop.
I hate nature.
That. My dog's worst enemy. by the way, crows. So, Levin and Fennec. We'll do you guys first. You guys kind of like keep going for a bit, and you notice that the crows start to kind of like pull off in a way. And like the darkness of the trees starts to kind of like recede a little bit, especially after you use your ability to like help shadow yourself, Fennec, like you were talking about like moments before. And Levin, I'm assuming you use your abilities to try to like stealth a little bit. And as you start kind of like coming out towards the end of the clearing, you're in like a low profile. And in front of you, you can, before you see it, you start smelling the scent of like a large amount of like rancid, dead things in front of you. And as you kind of start nearing like closer and closer to the edge of the tree line, you can start hearing the sounds and almost the and you can feel the vibrations of the ground moving underneath you. And as you peek around like the next bush in front of you, you can start catching the glimpse of like a large cloud of flies and dirt flying into the air. And you can even see, after you taking a couple moments to glimpse, a few like long halberds sticking out from the cloud. And you can start making out the figures of skeletons and zombies and other undead things.
Right.
Wow.
Sarah, Yami. As you guys crawl up the rock face and everything, you notice that the birds break off actually very quickly. Almost as if as you start to kind of like reach the peak of the rock face, they just kind of like hit the thing like almost an invisible barrier and break off and go away. Once up there, you start to see a similar situation. You can see a cloud of flies. I keep trying to talk a little bit too fast. A cloud of flies, and you can see the like pole arms and the heads of these skeletons and different figurines. And from up on top, you can even make out like the shape of horns from like larger like bodies and everything else, so skulls and things. And while up there, a bird flies over to you. And as it flies by, you notice a letter flutter slowly down to the ground and hit the floor in front of you.
I'm gonna definitely pick it up and try to look at, as I'm trying to like glancing at it and trying to read it and still look at what the hell is going on. I'll definitely read it.
And so when you pick it up, Yami, you notice that there's writing on it. It doesn't say to Yami, by the way. So don't open mail that isn't for you, by the way.
Thought it was my secret admirer. Fuck. All right, throw it out. I'm just kidding.
In this situation, that would actually be kind of concerning if you thought it was from a secret admirer.
It smells of death. Thought about you. Sends loves and kisses.
Yeah, oh my God.
Love you. XOXOXOXO.
Good gift. Have fun. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries. You notice that it says to Prince Orgrev. And with that, we're going to take a minute.
While our players take a brief break, check out playersoftherealms.com, and if you need dice and other things like that, check out dicelegion.com and use product code POTR to get 10% off of your purchase while simultaneously supporting us here at Players of the Realms. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Spotify. If you would like to support us, check us out on Patreon as well. All the links are able to be found on playersoftherealms.com. While you're there, check out our wonderful merchandise. We are in the process of adding more, so keep an eye out. Patreon subscribers receive a discount on all purchase, so while on the store it's more incentive to help support our wonderful cast. While our players take a brief break, check out playersoftherealms.com, and if you need dice and other things like that, check out dicelegion.com and use product code POTR to get 10% off of your purchase while simultaneously supporting us here at Players of the Realms. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Spotify. If you would like to support us, check us out on Patreon as well. All the links are able to be found on playersoftherealms.com. While you're there, check out our wonderful merchandise. We are in the process of adding more, so keep an eye out. Patreon subscribers receive a discount on all purchase, so while on the store it's more incentive to help support our wonderful cast. While our players take a brief break, check out playersoftherealms.com, and if you need dice and other things like that, check out dicelegion.com and use product code POTR to get 10% off of your purchase while simultaneously supporting us here at Players of the Realms. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Spotify. If you would like to support us, check us out on Patreon as well. All the links are able to be found on playersoftherealms.com. While you're there, check out our wonderful merchandise. We are in the process of adding more, so keep an eye out. Patreon subscribers receive a discount on all purchase, so while on the store it's more incentive to help support our wonderful cast.
Welcome back, everybody. Just want to remind you guys, go over to the merch store, go to dicelegion.com and use our promo code down in the doobly-doo. Again, we have links to the merch store and that down there. So please go ahead, utilize it. It helps us, it helps you. And hey, we all benefit, right? I think that's all the promos, right? Yeah, cool. We're not sponsored again by Miller Lite quite yet, so one day we'll get them, though. All right, y'all. So,
the beer of champagnes.
Miller Lite, it's the white can, 96 calories, smooth taste, blah, blah, blah. Again, no free ads. So, yeah, we're picking back up. Let's go over to Levin and Fennec. First off, I want to kind of get a gauge for what you guys are doing down there, because I think I know what's going to happen up at the top of the hill.
All right. If Levin is trying his best to maintain blocking line of sight to this thing after he notices it. Did you see where the other two went?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Did you see where the other two went?
And Fennec will look around real quick and then like point it like cross way that way.
Waste.
I don't know. I went right, left. They went left. So not this direction.
Oh. Any idea? And he points over towards the cloud of death. Any idea what that is?
Would Fennec recognize or understand it or have any kind of inclination as to what it may be?
Give me an Arcana or a history roll, maybe. That's what I would say. Yeah, why not?
Normal roll?
Yep. I mean, you don't no advantages or anything like that.
21.
Well.
Fennec did a thing.
What did you use? Arcana?
Yes.
You know that at one time, necromancers during the Great War used undead as a large source of their army. You can't remember who did it or anything, but you also remember seeing some of the, like, again, the application and spells and hearing the thing about it throughout your magical circles and the like. That this was a very common practice of a certain group, but you're not certain who.
Fennec will relay that information, but emphasize that he can't recall.
It'd be like you can't recall maybe one good way to think of it. You can't recall the country that did this, or which mercenary, if it was a mercenary group or anything like that. You know.
As far as I know, it could be anybody, but definitely you've seen it before, and it's not as uncommon as you'd think. But if that he'll point to it. If that's happening, there are necromancers around.
All right, Aaron, the player, knows this information. Levin, with his military background, would he have an idea as to organizations that would use undead?
Maybe. He's been studying into like the history of the continent, right?
Yeah, he's part of the Valinor Elves, so it's they border the Talenta Plains, and they're pretty much right across the lake, and only a little bit north would be Karnath, which would be what he most commonly thinks, because they used undead to bolster their military forces. So that's what he's thinking right now. He's not sure though.
Yeah. And those suspicions would be highly founded. Let me put it like that. From here, you can't kind of gauge what exactly, but let me also probe your mind with it, being that you know the clue that happened last session, and with the knowledge that you just reminded everybody about. Would Levin put those pieces together in any sort of way? And then maybe how does he relay that information to Fennec or to himself even, you know?
Relaying it to Fennec more as idle thoughts, but if they're Karnathi, then I don't understand why they're doing what they're doing across the Mourne.
You came in real...
What's that?
You came in real soft on that one.
Sorry, adjusting.
Yes, they keep his voice down.
If those are Karnathi, then I don't know what they're doing across the Mourne.
Not sure, but probably best if we meet back up with the others.
Damn it. Sideswipe into the next scene. You know, like barn door and swipe.
Star wipe.
Yeah, star wipe, like like in everybody's favorite PowerPoint presentation.
I was making a Simpsons reference.
Oh dang it, I totally missed it. We pick back over with Saris and Yami. Yami, you're holding this note now in your hand. And I'm sorry, Marlee, we can't forget that she's in the picture too.
Melee?
Melee. Sorry, no, it's Melee. How could I mess that up?
Your NPC. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I even made her up. Oh, dang it. Hey, you know, this goes to show. Got DMs, you don't need to be perfect. Remember that. So, Yami, you see the name on the note and everything. Are you continuing to open or try to open it?
Yes.
When you go to open, you kind of like see the first, like, you know, just the crease in the envelope as you would kind of like normally imagine one. Mm-hmm. And as soon as you go to start lifting it off, you notice that like your whole thumb from like end to end there, it's sliced open.
Now let's make a blood contract. So my thumb got sliced open, like, so it's like blood.
Yeah, it's dripping pretty good. Like, it's a pretty solid paper cut. It's not like, again, it's not like a solid like damage doer, but like, oh, you feel it.
Enough. Yeah, enough. Gotcha.
You gashed it.
Yeah. A nice paper cut. A really good paper cut.
Now, your thumb wasn't, you might have noticed, wasn't like actually making serious contact like that.
Mm-hmm. No, so good. Mm-hmm. I'm listening intently.
No, that's all I have to say about it.
Oh, so there's nothing in the note, and my thumb just gets cut open?
I mean, are you continuing to open the note after it gets open, after your thumb gets cut?
Yes, and I'm gonna just power through it.
Okay. And so,
choices were made.
Step by step, you start to like open the note a little bit more, and you can start to feel breath on the back of your neck. It makes your hair start standing up back there. And as you power through, you open the actual envelope and you suddenly hear like the sounding of like a crow call like right over your right shoulder. Like just scream right up next to you. And as you look over there, there's nothing there.
Oh God.
You still power through?
Is the Ceres and Ceres doesn't hear any of this, it's just me?
Yeah, she just sees you like weirdly opening this note at this point.
Why aren't you running faster?
And my thumbs are still, she just sees my thumbs bleeding.
Ceres, do you see his thumb bleeding?
I mean, we've all been getting kind of beat up, so she doesn't really think, oh, it's a bleeding thumb. She's not associated with. Because why would a letter cause him to bleed? It doesn't make sense.
So as that's happening, I'm like, I'm hearing things. This letter's weird. I'm hearing things as I still continue to open it.
Cutting words.
Things me screaming at you to run faster, because that's what you need to be doing.
And I'm still powering through it.
As you pull the note out of the envelope, you hear whispering into your left ear. Bring it to him.
Bring what? To who? As I say out loud for enough for Ceres to hear.
There, so you hear it, but you don't hear what the voice said to Yami.
Bring your legs closer to the forward momentum. Run faster. She's starting to pull ahead.
And I'm gonna follow, but slowly as I still open. I'm powering through.
You're gonna end up dead.
Or was that all of it, or can I still like pull the rest out, open it? What else can I do with this note?
Well, you can actually open the note, which you unfold the tri-folded note. It's blank.
I'm gonna be like, oh, confused. Okay, and if it's blank and nothing else happens, I'm gonna just put it back in the envelope and tuck the envelope into my like pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And follow through. If the note didn't do anything else or say anything else, then yeah, I'm gonna just like, all right, that was fucking weird, and put it in my pocket. I'm like, I'm coming.
You guys hustle off.
Ceres, are we going still up the mountain or back to where we left the others? What direction?
We're
are we still going
away from crows.
But there's a bunch of dead things over there.
Are the dead things ahead of us or behind us?
They're ahead of you, but the crows have broken off.
Yeah, there's no more crows. There's dead things, and I believe that's where Fennec and Levin went. So
I guess they're lost to us then.
Yes, they're dead. They're dead. They're gone.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna scream, "Hello! Can you hear me?" See if Levin and Fennec can hear us.
Rolls your eyes.
Turn from down at the undead horde underneath you. No, I'm kidding.
Just all looks up at me.
They all look up at you like, son of a bitch. Who's that?
800,000 skeletons just.
Yeah.
You know who is looking at him? Ceres. Like, why would you do that?
But do they hear me? Can they hear me from that? And I'm using my full bellow. All lung.
I would like to punch him in the stomach reflexively to shut him up.
I'm like, can you hear me? That's what you guys would hear.
Well, we have a heading on where they are.
Yeah, Levin, you could definitely perceive that passively and all that jazz.
Levin could probably even insinuate with his perception that I got punched or something obstructed my sentence.
He's under attack.
I'm going to be working to maintain whatever possible stealth we can to try to make our way towards that scream.
Yeah. Again, you guys also saw that the crows have like broken off, like.
But we're at the edge of the clearing, though, right?
Yeah. Like you guys are easily like. In the best American terms I can put it, 3 football fields away from the army.
Wow, that scream would barely be heard without a good perception check. You're right. Shoot.
No, from the army. Like the undead army. You guys are about 3 football fields from there. You guys are maybe like 1 from the scream. So
still a fair distance. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a set of pipes on him.
And we got high ground.
Cyrus is looking at the army. It's like, this is not great.
I think we could take him. Come on,
yes.
Aren't you one of us? I'm gonna point to pull out one of my amulet that has like a symbol on it, referring to clericism. I don't know how you want to put that in those terms.
One of the faithful. Oh yes,
yes.
But my goddess believes in intelligent people.
Tomato. We can still kill him.
Well, you might kill 2 of them.
You? Maybe. Me?
Oh no, I'm not going to be killing any. You're going to buy me time. I appreciate that, by the way. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. Give me a moment to lock your face into my memory to remember this moment when you valiantly sacrificed yourself on a stupid suicidal charge towards an army. But
I'm gonna stretch and be like, kill them all before you can escape.
Don't worry, I will raise Fennec as he should be in your memory.
You think? I wouldn't be surprised if Fennec was in.
Wow.
I'm gonna raise your son.
Fennec, listen, Fennec may be
Cyrus is straight up telling you, I'm gonna be the dad you never were.
No, or the bad one. With your terms. With your strategies and your sticky fingers, I'm pretty sure. But
I will raise him to survive to old age. How's that?
I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he's already down there killing half of them. I gotta catch up. You know he's a feisty little bastard.
You see a goblin waiting through the crowd.
It's Fennec. Come on. You know he ain't running away. He probably enticed all. He probably did this just to have fun. Let's go.
I'm not going towards that. No.
I also like how Sarah just jumped right into Mexico around.
What happened? You got cut out a little bit. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that Ceres is going to jump in and raise Fennec as her own when Mech's still around.
If I die, it's still Mech.
No, but she assumes Mech's already.
No.
Mech's already a lost cause. He can't hide for shit.
But Mech is a family unit.
He would have been plowing the forest down and probably fighting. He probably would have fought the crows. So, but anyways, that's another day to be discussed. Yeah. So with that, where have you left off? It was I'm sorry because I know I said something was on Levin. Levin, you said you heard the voice and stuff.
Levin was taking Fennec and trying to use the clearing as a way to move towards you guys as quietly as plausible.
Okay, so yeah, that's where we left off.
Because even though there's a great distance, he still doesn't want to be seen and or heard by a potentially hostile force.
So as Ceres and Yami are talking about who's going to be raising Fennec in the future, all of a sudden, climbing up the rock face, Levin kind of pokes his head up over the top. And same with Fennec. You gotta go like boop, boop,
and then a little head behind him.
Oh, good.
I sort of I glance at them, and then I look straight at Yami, just dead into his eyes, and like, look, my son Fennec is here.
Wait, can we see them?
Yeah.
You notice them, but then you turn around and see them. Yeah.
Yeah, Fennec's with me. I'll pull him along. I'll pull him up and just there you go.
You see, like Mech has like the like cyan colored eyes in him, identifying that he's on autopilot.
He's just sleepwalking. Got it.
I don't know what that's about.
Timing's not great.
Actually, it's probably for the best. He probably would have been trying to wade through all this, so it's good that he's calm. He's docile, because I still got some questions for him, actually. His eyes aren't crazy red, so at least that's a good thing.
Also, Yami, you had no other discreet way of notifying us?
I mean, you did say to scream.
I said we were within screaming distance.
Eh?
I tried to stop him.
And we were far enough away where we barely heard you.
So then, you heard? Listen, you got us, though. You got us. Because if not, how else were you going to get us? So it worked. It worked.
Rolls her eyes.
Everyone, give me a survival check real quick.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
This is going to be grand.
Well, hopefully I love it this time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow. High five, Fennec.
Yeah. I guess it's still gonna be me raising Fennec, huh? And as I slap Ceres on her back.
Ceres rolled higher than you.
Oh, shit. Well, at least one of us is. Slap on her back again.
Alright. You lot do as you like. I'm going to maintain eyes on that group.
Ceres is like side-eyeing it very thoroughly. She's not paying attention to the conversation.
Yeah, and so Levin, you're kind of like locked into watching the Horde. You're maybe almost like enamored by the rhythmic moving of them and everything, and maybe it's bringing back some memories and thoughts about your homeland and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, he's looking for things like troop formations or groups breaking off.
Yeah. If you'd like, you can give me a check related to that, and maybe we can give you something a little bit to it. I wouldn't
probably a straight intelligence check.
Yeah.
He's currently detached, so it's been a bit.
Yeah. And Ceres and Yami, you would notice that, like, especially Yami being with your Outlander like ability, you get this distinct feeling that it is heading into the direction towards New Ciri.
Oh, fuck.
Fennec, you kind of know that, like, it's heading into the direction that you guys came from. Maybe? Not like 100% certain, but you got like a fairly good idea from that.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to let you know what he's feeling. With your straight intelligence, Levin, you can tell that you actually can hear a couple different rhythms of the marching. Because if you ever you've heard marching, you hear the 1, 2, 1, 2, kind of like going along. You can
moving in step.
Yeah, you can piece out that there's almost 4 different rhythms here or there, but maybe 3. You're not quite certain.
It sounds like they're organizing still.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. A crow dropped this letter and it cut my thumbs and started whispering to me, and if I know anything, this isn't something probably good. So maybe one of you guys can get a
what thing?
look
Let
at
me
it.
see.
And I pass him the letter with the envelope. Be careful, it cuts your thumbs and whispers stuff to you. And I'm gonna just relay everything that happened to me. Like it asked me to bring something to someone, the crow call, and the cutting thumbs.
Levin's going to carefully open the letter up to observe, to see if there's any contents of the letter. Like, Yami said it was blank, but Levin is now specifically looking for, like, indentations of someone having written on it, or anything like that. Like, he's not trying to read it, he's just looking for the presence of indentations.
Right on.
As he opens in it, I'm gonna wince at his thumbs.
Pause. Yami, did you put the letter into the envelope again?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Levin, as you go to open the envelope,
Wince at his thumbs.
your pinky finger slices open.
That's unusual.
Oh.
From tip to tip of like the first digit.
So, parallel to the nail or perpendicular to the nail?
Vertical hard.
Both are bad. I'm just curious.
Like straight down like this, like in the middle of the palm.
Ow.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I got it. I'm gonna wait for you to pull it out before I do anything else.
As you keep going through it, you open it up again. You feel a breath come onto your right ear, like directly onto it. If you keep powering through, you hear a voice in your left ear saying, "Bring it to him."
Right.
And then, as you look at the note, give me an investigation check.
I want to say something to Levin too. I want to be like, I have an idea. Maybe if you rub your cut pinky that's bleeding on the note, it'll probably show something. If I've seen stuff like this before.
All right, 21 on the investigation.
Damn. Yami was right.
Okay.
I think it makes sense now. I've seen this kind of magics. I mean, that's up to you, Levin, though. I don't know what it does, so that's if you really want to take that risk. But what does Levin see with that? I'm sorry.
No, like, as you kind of say it, some of his blood accidentally touches the paper.
Oh, I was going to deliberately do it if you did say that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just with the natural 20, it just dips on.
Does it?
And then
I was thinking if there were indentations, some capillary action would fill whatever lettering there would have been.
Oh no, you don't see any.
I don't deal in blood magic. Better you than me.
See it start to kind of like, you see it hit the page a little bit, and then you see a little bit of lettering start to form. And from there, you start doing your business, maybe wiping your pinky across the whole page.
Yeah, not smearing, but just gently applying it to expose more lettering. But not too much. Like, he wants to, like, and you said this was addressed to the prince?
Yes, Prince Orgrove.
You notice there's no indentations to it, by the way.
Magically looking.
We have an inscrolled secret note addressed to the prince. This seems important.
What does it say?
We have an army. I'll get to that. We have an army that is preparing to mobilize.
Kind of about that terms. Yeah. You're not 100% off, actually.
And if we start running in the other direction, mayhaps we can actually get this note to him in time for us to yell at him that he might need to start mounting defenses.
Real quick, meta knowledge, because I wasn't here. Do we know this prince, or because?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
We have an idea of who this is.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure because
he calls himself a king. He is also called a prince. He's also called a warden of an area. So,
and depending on who you ask from Sire, he's also called a problem.
And who was the one that invited us to seek out this mission that we're on real quick? Was it his kingdom?
Him.
Ramos gave us this job specifically, but it was on his behalf.
Okay, so then I guess we got to do our jobs. Let's bring this to him as fast as possible.
Well, let's not jump ahead. Letter.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You notice that the blood, it starts to pool into darker letters, and the rest of the paper starts like staining into red. And in the lettering it says, "Bring this to the false king."
Oh.
We come to bring the new life to him and his people. We come to deliver them into new life for Our Lady. Bring this letter to him, and he will be able to read the terms.
I don't know if we should bring this letter to him. If I'm not mistaken, it sounds
Levin
like
is going to immediately smack Yami upside the head.
It says, "Bring this to him." Are you sure it's not nothing crazy?
He's going to immediately snap a finger and point towards the actual army. They are dictating terms to a person in a position of privilege. It's kind of important that this message gets to him, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It sounds like a trap, but all right.
As opposed to what? An actual army advancing on refugees?
You never know with these kind of types. If I know who it is, if I think who it is, then it's the Ravens.
Do you remember what the conditions were over at New Siri?
No, I don't, because I don't think I was here for that.
Okay, then allow me to elucidate you. They do not have adequate defenses to deal with any army, never mind one full of that.
Well, I apologize if I give him a punch in the chest. I wasn't here for any of this shit, so thank you for keeping me informed. Let's go.
Oh, you technically were, but...
I mean, yeah, but now I was, just now, for that. I didn't even know we knew this prince at all.
By the 6th, have none of you actually been part of the war that was going on?
No.
I know Mech has, but no, not me. I've been on my own crusades.
I am a vagrant child who lived on the streets until a few weeks ago. Still kind of live on the streets, actually.
He's gonna let out a long sigh.
And then you see Fennec just sitting there smiling and waving. And then he was raised by me and Mech. So well, Mech might have more knowledge because he's not here, but I know he's
Please remind me. Okay, we need to start moving, and we need to do that sooner than now.
Well, all right, so let's go.
Yeah, Saris is right.
Walk and talk, people.
Let us depart.
Walk and talk, people. How fast of a pace do you guys want to keep?
I feel like Levin's going to push for the fastest pace possible.
No,
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Levin knows any group moves as slow as its slowest member.
Everyone looks at Fennec.
I was looking at Mech. I think
Mech is not slow.
A little faster. Well, maybe right now he is.
Mech's
we all have around the same speed.
He can move as fast as you guys.
So
autopilot, just like an RC car, just using the control to move him. What is Fennec speed?
We're all 30, if you're asking mechanically.
Like, yeah, there's no actual difference in you guys, I believe. Nobody's like a satyr or a centaur, so.
I mean, yeah, I have 40 feet. Yeah, I mean, I have 30 feet movement. It just might take me so much to get
there.
Right. So I'll take here, and he's gonna hand the letter and the envelope back to Yami. I'll take point. I'll scout ahead. We're moving.
No, I'm gonna tuck that in my chest plate now, because now I know it's a message to the prince that's important. I'm gonna keep it safely fucking tucked away.
I'll take point.
You're a scout.
Yes, but like you said, party is only as slow as the slowest member, and if you guys are all following me, I'm not at the end.
I'll take the rear because knowing Sarah, she probably run away. As I give her like a little playful smirk.
She just frowns.
Having given custody of the letter back to Yami, Eleven has already started moving back towards the southwest.
And I'm following, and I mean, I don't know what Sarah's going to be, but I'll take rear.
Fennec will stay with Sarah's. Probably behind if he did.
Yeah. While they're walking along, Sarah will just kind of look at Fennec and it's like, you probably heard me say that I was going to, and she like air quotes, raise you. I don't think you need to be raised. I was just doing that to mess with Yami.
No, they weren't near each other at that point, were they? That's when you had gone left, I had gone right.
No, she did say, like, look, here's the son I'm going to raise when she saw you.
Yeah, she made the offhand comment.
The argument is you're like climbing up, depending on how loud they were doing it. So,
yeah, I don't think she heard that part.
Don't worry about it. I figure if I'm gonna have two dads, a mother won't hurt the next.
She shudders. No offense, I'm not looking to actually raise children, ever.
I mean, I'm not. All right, let's keep going.
Not that I think you're a child.
You don't have to keep. Let's go.
Yep. Just keeps walking.
Good. As you all are moving, every so often, over the course of like a couple days, and we can get into more of what you guys might talk about like during this time, just to reference something. Periodically, you can notice that there's like, again, the week took this trip out here took like 2 weeks to do, and so we'll fill in a little bit of that like social gap and everything, but the entire time there's been a presence of a raven or a crow surrounding you. And sometimes when maybe there's like a bolt of lightning, it like flashes by really quick, and or like the fire kind of like flickers in the right kind of way. You almost think that the bird doesn't have like any feathers on it, and it's just a skull, like looking dead at you in the eyes.
Skelly bird.
Or that the bird doesn't have a torso, and it's just, you can see its little heart like beating inside of it.
Real quick, can I do a religion check just to see if it's something has to do like with that kind of entity? Like maybe because I'm thinking it's kind of with the Raven Queen, but just to be sure.
Go ahead.
See if it's like any kind of deity or anything like that sort.
The matron wouldn't use undead for her messages.
Well, that's be something, and I probably don't figure out nothing. It's a 9. I'm a cleric that's not religious, apparently.
I have faith in you.
During your like thoughts about it, and the times that you see these events occurring, you are reminded of the Raven Queen and everything. However, your certainty is not there.
Can't put my finger on it, but it seems so familiar. As I mumble to myself, if anybody's, I'm pretty sure with freaking Levin's passive, he would hear me when I'm mumbling.
Only if I'm close. But I'm ahead scouting.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah. Honestly, anybody with a passive over, because I'm not mumbling it like to not hide it. I'm just mumbling it to myself, like I'm pretty sure, like thinking out loud. So Cyrus could hear me. I'm pretty sure because he's next to me.
And again, we're not saying that this is like over the course of one day. This is the course of
a couple of weeks,
like essentially 2 weeks.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
Of like backfill. So like, if Levin wants to chime in with something, maybe he overheard a certain part, or maybe Fennec did.
Well,
yada yada yada. By all means.
Said,
or if you guys have something else that you want to talk about during this time, go ahead and knock that in.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to Cyrus and be like, Cyrus, come on. You know about the Raven Queen. Doesn't this any of this ring a bell to you? Come on. Help me out here.
Oh.
I'm going to say it to everybody. I'm going to say it to Fennec, like, let's say one day we're at a campfire.
Yami, that envelope, was there a seal on it?
Oh, honestly, I didn't look. Did you? You were the one who put your,
it was already opened. Blood pack. Blood pack.
I'm just kidding. But go ahead.
Let me have a look at it. And Levin's going to look at the envelope and see if there was a seal of some sort on it.
There is. But you didn't remember there being a seal on it the first time that you opened.
Yeah, he only would have seen like that there may or may not have been a seal, just that it was an open letter.
There's 2 seals on it.
Well, Jesus.
There's 1 seal on the left side of the envelope, and then 1 seal on the right. And 1 seal has a kind of a symbol that you're not like totally familiar with. And then the other seal that you see is one from your specific clan or family.
From Levin specific?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
If Yami, you were to look at it, you might recognize the one on the left side as something related to yours.
Like my mercenary group?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm like, wait a minute. This is, I know that seal. It looks like my mercenary group. As I point to the one that's obviously the one that Levin sees as his.
This is odd. Most people wouldn't know. Most people wouldn't know this seal. Why is this on it?
What do you mean? Are you talking about? So wait, what was the left seal again? Not the ones that look like our related ones. The other one.
No, it's yours. And then the one on the right is his. But neither of you remember there being a seal on it the last time that you looked at it.
I'm gonna look at it. Wait a minute. That's that seal? I'm gonna point to the other one that looks like his.
We're the only ones that opened the letter and bled for it.
I'm gonna rub my head up. This is why I hate stuff like this.
I would suspect that whoever else opens this would also mark it with a seal from whoever they're affiliated with or wherever they're originally from.
Hey, Cyrus, come here real quick. I want to test the theory.
What theory?
Open this letter.
No? That sounds weird.
Yeah, I agree with Cyrus on this one. That sounds weird, and I'm only telling you of my suspicion.
I know. I was just trying to. That's why I was trying to test it. It was a theory. It's all right. Hey, Fennec, come open this.
Well, you said you picked him up over at, the Korenberg libraries?
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? I'm sorry, what'd you say? What library?
You all came from Zerlago, right?
Yes.
Korenberg.
Yeah, the library, okay.
So I suspect if he doesn't have a place of origin, that it would probably be a seal associated with that.
Only one way to find out. Hey, Fennec, come open this up real quick.
Isn't that the same one that's been, testing me in combat?
Actually, we could just wait for the prince to open it. Maybe if his seal goes on there. I don't know how this.
It's addressed to him.
I mean, I can.
Yeah, but why are our seals on it now? Maybe because we opened it, so now he would know that we. I'm not. Confusing. Within the weeks, can I study this letter? Maybe do Arcana or something.
It could be a chain of custody type of thing. It could be just some sort of tracking nonsense.
That's what I'm trying to. That's exactly what I was thinking. But
well, we are being followed, as it were. Monitored would be more my suspect.
Alrighty then. So it's just our seals on it for now.
So I'm not opening.
You don't need to.
Okay.
Do you want to?
No.
All right.
Having trouble reading again.
Oh, you definitely read a lot of books in that library. I know you read some shit. You should know something.
What else is there to do in the library?
Exactly. Alrighty.
So are we going to hand this letter off to this prince person?
Yeah, this is all on the way there, I'm assuming. So this is throughout the weeks and travels, and we're just all faintly looking at this letter, discussing it.
Yeah.
Unless anybody's doing anything else, that's just me. I'm sorry.
Well, I feel that especially after this conversation, it probably gets dropped pretty heavily from most people's thoughts, unless they're like, "Ooh, I need to bug Yami to go do it." Or
burn this letter.
Does or does Sarah steal the letter?
She does not.
I tucked it right in my chest, so if I'm still holding it, it's safely tucked away until we bring it to this guy.
Do you think I couldn't get it? Are you challenging me?
That sounds like it.
Oh, did you mean this letter?
Yeah.
Shit.
Okay. Well, cool. Like we talked about, other than small minimal encounters of shooting away some boar, maybe the crows kind of following you, and again, Yami, you almost feel a weight in your chest. It's and then every so often it feels wet, and then when you go and open up where the letter is sitting, it's totally dry.
Feels a little gross.
Moist.
You.
Moist.
You make it to New Siri though. Siri, however we want to say it.
Sire.
There are so many different ways of saying it.
Sarah says this is the right way though.
So are the other ways.
Yeah.
We're going to New somewhere. We're here.
You're here. You're there. You're everywhere.
Yeah.
So once you arrive into the city, what do you do? What doth thou do?
Around what time of day would we be arriving?
Oh, my apologies. You know what? I like this idea. 11 a.m.
I would assume we're going straight to the prince, unless I'm pretty sure we're not exhausted. So I would go straight to the prince with the letter in my chest, fogging my shirt up, but it's still dry. This is weird.
Levin would be trying to flag down any person that looks like they're on guard or on duty for security here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and
do you know where Ramos or the prince is?
Yeah. He's over. I know the prince is in the castle.
We have a report to make.
Is who you're looking for? I don't know,
Ramos.
man. Yeah, no, Ramos. I don't know.
Large, boisterous fellow. Has a artificial leg. Cigars. Probably smells like bourbon.
Maybe the prince knows. Oh man, yeah. I don't think I've seen him.
Right.
How did you mention it?
The castle it is then, or what passes for one. Yeah. Thank you.
Like quite literally, what passes for one is the key thing there. So, mind you, this is like as you approach, it's a couple big walls on each side. You know, maybe in like a kind of squared positioning and everything. It's kind of more like a keep than a castle. Is the best way to put it.
Got it. Walls, courtyard, central structure. That's about it.
Yeah. Some arrow slits to shoot shit out of. You got it. Yeah.
But yeah, Levin's gonna beeline towards what would be the main opening for it, and if it's closed, he's gonna start knocking.
Whoa, man! What's the rush? No, I'm kidding.
I love this guy.
Ceres is going to murder him.
We're here to make a report on our investigation that we were sent out on. Since Ramos is not present, then we would have to go to the next person in charge.
Word? All right, man. I'll totally send the word up the chain.
Thank you. Please be quick.
I'm patting my shoulder like, thank you. You're a great guy. Yeah, please be quick. My chest is getting soggy here.
You see him like slowly meander over and away. And then another dude's like standing guard. About like 15, 20 minutes later, maybe you guys like sitting in the courtyard, kind of like, what the fuck is going on? The door eventually swings open.
Like at the DMV. All right, I-9, come up to the window 11.
Maybe something like it.
Finally, let's go. As we all walk up to window 11.
You're the one with the letter.
And as you enter, you know, it's a dingy kind of hall, if it even can be called that. It has a kind of like simplistic rug and maybe like a few statues kind of here in like up by the very front in the very back of the like area. All in all, it's maybe like 20 feet long, if even. Of a kind of like entrancing area. Or I should say like welcoming area. And you see the king sitting up on his throne over there.
Air quotes, king.
I was gonna say, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? So we walk to the king, air quotes, and I'm like, king, what's his the name again? Azabar? Or I'm sorry, repeat that.
Or Gev.
Orev. All right, I'm like, King Orev. I'm gonna be like, this letter's for you.
Gev, Gev, or like
or Gev. Okay, got you.
Gev, yeah.
All right. King Orgev, we come bearing news for you. I do like a little head bow. I'm not gonna bow. I'm gonna like nod my head.
Harris takes a few steps back so as not to be associated with the messenger.
Levin is standing at attention.
And what is that?
I'm gonna look at Levin. I think you're better at describing this. But there's a letter for you.
Very well. Let me see the letter.
I'm gonna look at Levin, and like, should we tell him before he opens it?
Until he's directly addressed, yeah, he's not chiming in.
So as I whisper that to him and he doesn't answer back, I'm like, all right, here you go. So this is a letter, but before you open it, just know that it comes with a cost. It cuts your finger, and the only way to see it is I'm gonna give him the whole spiel and tell him about the army. I'm just gonna give her a whole relay of what happened.
It sounds kind of crazy. As he like flips open the envelope, nothing happens to him. And he goes like, and so let's see what else is true about your story. And he pulls out the thing. He opens up the letter. And then as he's looking at it, you all can almost see like the page of white starts turning like blood red as he's holding on to it. And as he's looking at it and he's like reading down through the passages, you can follow his eyes a little bit. And he suddenly gets a more and more horrified look into his face. What did you bring me? What is this?
Sir.
Where did you get this from?
We were sent to investigate to the northeast for a group that was gone missing, if you remember.
This cannot... And you found this note from them? From somebody? What is this? What is going on? And then behind you, you hear the doors slam open. And a like resounding thud louder than you would have imagined these doors could have even made. And in walks about 5 individuals. In a square, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, is 2 individuals holding these long pikes. And then in the middle of them is a man or person. It's tough to kind of initially tell until they start getting closer. But they have this paint on their face. And it almost looks like Hull has been painted onto them. And they start slowly walking their way closer and closer to you all.
I didn't want to be the messenger.
Does Orgev have no attachment that's present for his safety, for his safekeeping?
He does.
What are they doing? Because this group brought weapons into a keep.
You're correct. And the 4 individuals that are 2 of them next to him and 2 of them next to the door are just as stunned as you all looking at them.
I'm gonna step directly in front of their path to the king, like, and I'm like, look cockeyed, like, and who the hell are you?
Levin is going to wince hard at that.
Saris is stepping further away and sort of dragging Fennec with her. Like, let's not be noticed in this moment.
Fennec, you going along with her?
Yep. Not even a question. I mean, if anything, he's trying to hide behind her or find a place to.
That's perfectly fine, because I'm not looking for nobody.
And so, as the contingency starts walking forwards, bit by bit, the two guards by the door start coming behind them. As in, like, the Ogren's guard is following behind those guys. Yami, you come up and stop them in a way, right?
Like, not stop them, but I'm gonna step in, like, kind of like, what the hell's going on? Like, who are you guys?
And the gentle person in the middle, like, brings his hands up and gives a flourishing bow down with his hands and says, "We are here to bring the king the terms from Our Lady." Now, if you would please let us go do that, we would be greatly appreciative.
Alrighty then. Now I'm gonna step to the side.
Real quick, while Saris is standing here, does she get a sense of violent intent from any of these newcomers? Does it look like potentially this could be like a very like bold assassination attempt?
Give me an insight.
Oh. Can I pray to my goddess to give me
How fast
guidance?
is your prayer? Is your prayer, Holy Mother Jesus, please let me know what's happening?
Pretty much, yes. But can I use guidance?
Pardon?
Okay, I can use guidance?
Sure.
Yay!
You can do a quick
well, no insight there.
You're not certain. The guards don't look threatening that he's with.
Mm-hmm.
And being a street person, why would they bring big weapons like this? It's usually for crowd control, as you know. They keep walking forward, or does anybody have anything else they want to do?
Nope, I'm just watching.
No, we have a messenger with an honor guard attachment, so I'll let this play out.
Very well. He gives again a flourishing bow to Ogren. Sorry if I butcher his name over and over again. Ogrev, my fault. And he says, "King Ogren, I am here to bring your people into the new world of Our Lady. We all want to have peace and tranquility throughout the land, and I think that you want the same as us. Now, what we are looking for is for you and your people to join us into our family, and if you can, help us through our endeavors. All that we ask is that you bring you and your peoples outside of your city and come and greet us with open arms." And he turns his head and looks directly over at Mei Li and says, "If you can join us as well, Our Lady will welcome you deep into her embrace as he crosses his hands across his chest.
Sorry, she's under contract.
And will bring you into her loving embrace.
Sarah's just like shaking her head at Melee. It's like, no, bad idea.
Liege, we hope that if nothing else, you may be able to supply us with one of our most humble requests. And he looks over at Melee again. And if nothing else, bring her and your people out in front of the city and greet us with open arms. For if not, the blood will spill upon your streets, and your people shall roam and know no end. And then, as he finishes those words, you notice that, like, his entire body and the cohorts drift down into mist and sweeps out into the open windows and doorway and vanishes away.
Okay, that's a special kind of awful.
Hmm.
I mean, any plan that involves leaving a city is always a bad plan.
What is this? Who could tell me what to do? Who did you bring?
Did bring him?
We did not bring these individuals.
This isn't us. Don't put this on us.
We will have to talk about this at another time. Out of my sight now.
Excellent.
I need to think about what this is. Out!
Away we go.
Hand on his throne, which is essentially just a kind of fancy chair at this point.
I wonder if it has a reclining feature. It's like a little handle on the side.
No, not even.
Not worth it.
Not even a massage or heating function.
Clearly, we live in the Dark Ages.
How bad of a king he is.
By your leave, and Levin walks out.
It's all right. You guys right now. I want just to, not to force anything, but go on with what you guys are thinking.
I'll follow out quietly, just behind everybody.
Look at Levin, and it's just like, maybe it's time we went back to Rote.
Curious as to how he didn't know of an advancing army. Was there no news from Ratharond or Arthon Keep? Arathon Keep, sorry.
Were we able to stay ahead of the army?
Yes.
Armies in general move slower than small groups.
Okay.
Yes. You guys you haven't seen them for a good amount of time.
Okay. So he's not doing any kind of reconnaissance.
I think this was simply a message.
Excellent.
Well, he said welcome him with open arms, or he's gonna kill everybody. So, pretty sure he still wants to bring his army here. But
I really want to know what the king quote is gonna do.
They don't feel like particularly generous terms. Just sounds like surrender.
They're not, but it's also... Why would they be doing this so close to Thrain? Why would they be doing this to New Syria in general? This is, quite frankly, bold.
Telling by the size of the town, I'm assuming he doesn't have a lot of men.
He doesn't.
Well, I mean, it's obvious why they picked New Syria. Easiest mark.
They definitely, I don't want to see a bunch of people die. Maybe they leave the town, honestly, at this point.
You're not going to get a group of refugees moving faster than an army.
So you...
It would take several weeks to manage to get a whole city to pick up and go. Even one this small.
Is there any nearby towns that can...
as a general idea, you're going to get people that aren't going to want to move again.
Well, they should actually be all used to it by now, honestly. And it's just going to...
What of the ones that settled here before the recent group?
Well, then, they have no choice if they want to live. But that's if we can convince them.
That's... Yummy, do you honestly think it's our job to be convincing these people?
Well, I mean, I can tell them. I'm not going to fight them. But if they want to stay, then that's up to them. But I can't just leave everybody here to die.
You really aren't used to war.
Sorry. Especially to some terrible monsters like this. Unless we can get help for them.
At best, we'd have to send word to the nearby towns to see if they have news of an advancing army, or to gather personnel to assist in defense efforts. But again, that's not our job. We don't have the authority.
You're right. Can't argue that. Well, I mean, it's all up to him, honestly, at this point, because you're right. Hopefully, it's up to the king, or, quote, as I air quote, king. I don't know about you guys, but I'm good for a drink unless you got something else planned. I'm up with a new plan. Regroup, gather our thoughts.
Do we want to do anything about this latest development?
What can we do?
Valid point.
Honestly, yeah.
We can attempt to resupply before he puts a stop on that for whatever relief efforts he wants to put forth.
We're in a tizzy here. All right, well. Restock, regroup, regather. That's all we can do.
We didn't make any money on this, did we?
That wasn't discussed, and Ramos isn't around.
Actually, where's Ramos? Maybe we could find somebody who around town that knows where he's at.
Just as you finish the thought. Quite literally. Oh! Where are y'all at? Oh, shoot. Took you long enough. It was a freaking 5 weeks or so.
Right.
Now tell me, what did y'all find out there?
Problems, if I'm going to keep it brief.
Problems? Well, shoot. If everybody didn't find problems, then, well, some of us could never provide the answers.
I can tell you what we didn't find. Monetary compensation.
I don't think he's problem.
He gives like a boisterous laugh. It's like, you know, Saris? Saris, right? You know, y'all, you always get me with that kind of stuff. Now, let's go finish the tankard and go talk about what y'all found.
I hate my life.
And with that, we will finish the session.
I'll say for once I agree with
right, everybody. Remember, go down to the links below. Go check us out. Go check the merch store out, and go help out DiceLegion.com and use our promo code. It'll help us and you. And we'll see you all next time here at the Players of the Realms.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.